Oh, cases, cases, cases. Why do you troll me so? Whenever I think I've made my mind up about one thing, I end up considering anything else. Welcome, this is Brighty Otaku, and, well, we're back with another little tech session about that little video I made a few weeks ago about, well, what I was planning for my computer builds. Again. But this time, it's the budget gaming PC. This is getting the view in, because originally, if this thing would actually ever scroll, please, hard drive. Because originally, if the hard drive would stop grinding like a goddamn ass, thank you. I was originally planning on getting this. The Phoenix Neo's case. ATX tower case in black and blue. And at $29.99 it is relatively cheap. And even though I'd actually looked at cheaper options, I ended up considering this one. But I started to think, were there actually cheaper options with around the same amount, same size, case size, same storage capacity for hard drives? So I decided to look around. Scroll this back up. And I came up with a small selection, starting with, if this thing would ever actually go over, this. What you would call the little brother of the Neos, the BitFenix Nova, which has about the same configurations, but it's got only one 5 1/4 bay. But then again, that really doesn't matter because I'm not going for 5 1/4s. And it has 4 5 1/2 and 2 2 1/2 drive bays, which I think, if I remember, is actually one more than the 3 1/2 and one less than the 2 1/2. But then again, it really does depend on if I end up getting a 2 1/2 inch, the old 2 1/2 inch size SSDs. And all of that for £24. Alright. Let's clicky back there. Kill that tab. Let the hard drive straighten itself out. Let the tab straighten itself out. And go on to solution 2. Which is the Origin Tech Arcadia mid-tower case. And this actually reminded me, with these sort of like little handles on the 5 1/4s, of another full tower case that I'd actually considered for a build. And it's the reason why I ended up considering this. And this one is it's basically the same. For God's sakes. Hard drive. Yep, thank you. Yeah. Because at least we still have the side-mounted drive sleds for the 3 1/2. Get my numbers wrong. And with this, you have 2 5 1/4 bays. It says 4 3 1/2 1 exposed, 3 hidden, and 2 2.5. Now this is a slight error because it says 1 exposed, 3 hidden. The exposed one is the front bay. Is the 3.5 that's for the actual front of the case. Yeah. There's USB 3, USB 2, HD audio, and it's basically the same almost as the Neos in drive capacity. But it does not stop there. And that one was actually £25, or a few pennies short of. The next one in this little test of woe, allow the hard drive to grind. Well, we're now up to £27 with the Sigmatech Soundwave A. And this one, again, 2 5 1/4, but it has 5 3.5, 4 2.5. So more 2.5 than the Neos, and the same amount of 3.5. But this one actually has an internal 5 1/4 bay. So you could actually put in a 5 1/4 to 3.5 adapter and put in another hard drive, or you could well, put in a Quantum Bigfoot. Then again, would there be any motherboard around that supported the old ribbon cable standards? Right. And now we come down to the final two, and these two, while I actually considered them, are actually kind of not on the priority list. Right, number one is the Cougar Solution MIDI Tower gaming case. And while this actually has, I'll actually go to it here, a large amount of storage capacity. One, all the hard drives are facing, this is basically old style, and the hard drives are facing front to back instead of actually going sideways. And also, all of these bays, all 6 of them, are 3.5. So which means if you wanted any 2.5-inch drives, you would have to buy a bracket if the drive in question didn't come with one. And all of that for the princely sum of $24.95. Right, well, close that one. Should have a bit more RAM available now. And to the final contestant in this little quest of woe, and another one that I'd actually considered but decided against. The Sigmatech Asgard. And just like the unit before, all the drive bays would have all the connectors facing towards the back instead of towards the other side. And once again, it is all 3.5-inch drive bays, so you would need a bracket. And that was around the same price as the Cougar solution. No, actually, slightly more. 27 quid for the Asgard. Then again, I could actually be Skinflint and go up here. But then again, these all have side mounted. These all have a piece of metal that you can only put about 2 to 3.5 inch drives, or 3 2.5 inch drives. And they're absolutely useless for what I want. So basically, it is either going to be Neo's or one of the other contestants. And you won't have to wait much longer because, well, in a little under 2 weeks' time, I will actually be, or actually and hoping to be putting in the order for the case and some other parts I actually need. So they would actually turn up on the Thursday while I am actually doing all the work on this room. Yes, and one of the components in question, I'll just quickly go up here, if it will actually comply. Yes. Yes. I mean, is it supposed to be 80 meg down? Yep, once again, the hard drive is grinding off. Yep, and once again, my recording woes are hitting me again. And this is going to be the other item. Well, one of the other items. 1 terabyte hard drive. Because with the state of the main desktop, I am going to need to retrieve all of the data off of its 500 gigabyte hard drive. And while I could easily just buy another 500 gigabyte hard drive, the price difference between 500 gigabytes and 1 terabyte is absolutely minute. So 1 terabyte is. And hopefully you will be finding out what is going on with this in the next in the next 2 weeks. So until then, this is Blighty Otaku signing off, and I'll catch you laters.